Math Blast Week 10, Measurement Conversions. If 1 meter equals 100 centimeters, then 16 meters equals blank centimeters. Well, if 1 meter is 100 centimeters, then 16 meters is 16 groups of 100, which we know as 16 times 100. 16 times 100 is 1,600 centimeters. If 1 foot is 12 inches, then 7 feet would be 7 groups of 12 inches, or 12 times 7 with the commutative property, which is 84 inches. Use the standard algorithm to solve. 475 times 63. I'm going to take my 3 and multiply it by each digit in 475. 3 times 5 is 15. I'm going to carry my 1. 3 times 7 is 21, plus the 1 is 22. Carry the 2. 3 times 4 is 12, plus the 2 is 14. Now, this time I'm going to multiply each of the digits in 475 by 6, but this is 6 tens, so I need to put a placeholder here, starting my answer in the tens. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 7 is 42, plus the 3 is 45. 6 times 4 is 24, plus the 4 is 28. And so I can add my parts together, my partial products here, and I get 29,925 as the product. Divide 4-digit by 2-digit numbers, or up to 4 digits by 2 digits is the standard. In this case, we're dividing the 4 digits by a 1-digit number. So I'm going to model this with a place value chart. I have my ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands. And I'm going to draw discs to represent the number in each, the digit in each place value here. So I have 2 ones. I have 8 tens. I have a 100, and I have 4 thousands. Now I'm dividing by 2, so I am going to put into groups of 2. I want to ask myself, how many groups of 2 can I get out of these 4 thousands? Well, here's a group of 2, and here's another group of 2. So 2 groups of 2. How many groups of 2 can I get out of the 100 that I have? None, I don't have enough. So I'm going to take this 100, I'm going to unbundle and let 10 tens come out. And now I'm asking myself, well, how many groups of 2 can I get out of all of these tens, these 18 tens I have over here? We said we had no hundreds, and this time we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 groups of 2. And lastly, how many groups of 2 can I get out of my 2 ones? 1. So the quotient, the answer to a division problem is called the quotient. For this problem is 2,091. Multiplied decimals. Estimate the product. Well, to estimate, I'm going to round my numbers here. So in this case, I'm going to take 38 and I'm going to round it to the nearest whole. I'm going to round to 40. And 15, I can round to 20. And I know 4 tens times 2 tens is 8 hundreds. Tens times tens would be hundreds. Now, let's show all the work to actually solve using an area model or the algorithm. In this case, I'm going to use the area model. I'm going to draw my rectangle here for my place values, and I have 2 tenths, 8 ones, and 3 tens, which has a value of 30. And I'm going to multiply that by both digits here. I'm going to have 5 ones and 1 10, which has a value of 10. Now, 5 ones times 2 tenths is 10 tenths, and 10 tenths is just 1. 5 ones times 8 ones is 40. 5 ones times 30, or 3 tens, is 150. Now I'm going to take my 10 and multiply by 2 tenths, which would be 20 tenths, or 2. 10 times 8 is 80, and 10 times 30 is 300. 1 10 times 3 tens, it's 3 tens times tens is hundreds. Now I want to add all of my parts here. Let's add 150, 40, and 1, and we get 191. If I add 300, 80, and 2, I get 382. And when I add these together, so that all of my parts were added, I end up with 573. Coordinate plane. Label the x and y axis. The x-axis is your horizontal axis, while the y-axis is your vertical axis. Identify the ordered pair for points A and B. Well, let's look at point A here. When we're identifying ordered pairs, we go across the x-axis first, so we get to 7, and then we go up the y-axis to 3. So the ordered pair would be 7, 3. Same process here for B. I go across the x-axis to 4 and up the y-axis to 6. My ordered pair is 4, 6. Number 3 says plot points C and D on the coordinate grid. So I need to go to 10, 4. I'm going to roll over to 10 and then climb up to 4. This would be point C. I like to remember this process of we go over the x-axis and then up the y-axis, kind of like thinking about you're laying in your bed in the mornings, you roll over before you stand up. It wouldn't make sense to stand up and then roll over. So here's D. Let's try that once again. We're going to 1, 8. We need to roll over to 1 and then stand up to 8. This would be point D.